Hi, this video is on the partial solar eclipse that's also a new moon in Capricorn, which happens on the 6th of January 2019 at 1:28 in the morning. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. If this is the first one of my videos that you're watching, you're very welcome. Please hit the subscribe button if you like the video and share this on your social media, Facebook and Instagram and all the other things that you may use. I'm going to kind of analyze this chart that you can see next to me, and this is the chart, this is the moment of when the new moon happens. And because it's a partial solar eclipse, it doesn't just influence you on this day. The energy, because it's interrupted, lasts for 6 months. Now, I have made a yearly horoscope for each sign of the zodiac, and I go into a lot of details about the eclipses because 2019 is eclipse year. There are a lot of eclipses, 5 I think. And let's say you're a Sagittarius, watch the Sagittarius 2019 video because I tell you exactly what house the eclipse happens in and how that's going to affect you specifically. So what area of your life that's going to affect you in your finances or your love life or your friendships or your career. I've also made a horoscope for each sun sign for January that also goes into more detail about this eclipse. So watch those videos first for your sun sign. If you want more information, watch the ones for your rising sign, also known as the ascendant. And if you want a lot of information, even more information, then watch the ones for your moon sign. That's the most sensitive part of who you are. Now, I have dreamt a lot over the Christmas period and I've had time to reflect. And I have included Ceres, which is an asteroid, and Pallas Athena in my horoscopes. You can see them in the first house, the thing that looks like a question mark at 22 degrees in Scorpio, that's Ceres, and the thing sitting on the ascendant, that diamond-shaped planet with a cross underneath it, that's Pallas Athena. I have included those because I've been guided in my dreams and through my intuition that we do live on planet duality. That's what Advaita Vedanta is all about. I don't think I pronounced it properly, but it's about the idea that we're all one in truth. In spiritual truth, we are all one. We're all part of the Creator. That's what I believe. And each one of us has a spark of that universal energy inside of us. We just happen to be separated via our bodies here on planet Earth, but once we leave these physical bodies, we return to the source, and all the little sparks, the 7 billion sparks that are now on planet Earth, they return to the great big spark in the sky, and we go home and we are all one, and then we come back and then we look at our life purpose, and it goes round and round and round. Now, the reason I've included these things is because we're entering a time where we have got the ego in its death throes. A lot of people are waking up and becoming enlightened. A lot of people are ascending and vibrating at a much higher frequency, and that's why we've got the ego jumping in and really trying even harder to sabotage things. So that's why we have a world situation that includes people like Putin, who's interfering and causing wars to start, and we have Erdogan in Turkey, who's a dictator basically. We have Kim Jong-un in North Korea, who is you know, who's an absolute dictator and has control over a whole country, and the people in that country aren't particularly happy, they're not thriving. And that's the ego, that's toxic masculinity at its worst. And you can't fight for peace. It's an oxymoron. There's another vulgar one. It's like effing for virginity. Okay? It just doesn't work. You don't fight for peace. And the reason I've included Ceres and Pallas Athena here is because Ceres is Mother Earth. We are nurtured by spirit, and we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but we're also nurtured by our mother, the earth. And we can pull energy from her anytime, and she gives us things in abundance. Air to breathe, free of charge, loads of air, water, places to live. She can be seen as neutral as well. If you're out in the snow and you're lying on a bench and it's -5 degrees and you freeze to death, then Mother Earth has put an end to your physical experience. But what I'm saying is, rather than fighting for peace, the way we can overcome this is to draw in more power, more feminine power from planet Earth, to empower ourselves, to feel more supported, to feel stronger within ourselves. And Pallas Athena is the warrior goddess. And it's about taking that feminine energy and going out and correcting people in terms of faulty ideologies, dictatorships, imprisoning people, a sense of justice and truth. And it's about changing people's minds and enlightening them and helping them see the truth of what the world is about. The world is not about you having giant muscles and being in charge of your 20 employees and bullying them and feeling like a big man because you are now wielding your authority over people. That's toxic, and that's Mars in Aries at its worst. And the ego is in its death throes, because you can see all these people in the world who are affected by that. And the way we respond, because this is planet duality, is we draw on our mother, Ceres, to give us a sense of esteem and power within ourselves, because a lot of sensitive, intuitive people are very shy and they don't like themselves, and they often don't feel like they have the strength to go up against someone who's, you know, this giant bully. And I'm including Pallas Athena because she's the feminine warrior who doesn't fight and doesn't go out to kill and cause havoc and says, I'm the most powerful. She fights in a way that educates and opens people's minds to who they really are. I've also included an Arabic part, which is a way of calculating where the luck factor is. So you'll see that underneath that diamond-shaped Pallas Athena, and it's the symbol that looks like the X-Men symbol. It's a circle with a big X in it. So let's have a look at this new moon and this eclipse after my long speech. My apologies. The new moon is at 15 degrees and the moon and the sun sit together. So this is when the moon is pitch black. It's recharging its batteries, it's pulling lots of energy in, and it's pulling Capricorn energy in. Capricorn is the little mountain goat. It works very hard. It takes each step carefully because it has to tread carefully. Sometimes rocks slip and it doesn't want to fall. Capricorn wants to get to the top of the hill, top of the mountain, and it's ambitious, it's practical, it's an earth sign, it leads, It's someone who's in charge, who can lead other people in the right direction. It's responsible, it's diligent, it's hardworking. It's ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure and security, and it pulls this energy in. 15 degrees, 1 and 5 is 6. Capricorn, Sun and Moon. The Moon is going inward and contemplating what opportunities lie before you in 2019 and what practical action you can take to walk through these doors of opportunities and to make your life better. So that lasts for 6 months. Pluto is 5 degrees away from this new moon. Pluto is the planet of transformation, death and rebirth. A nice metaphor for it is the phoenix, because it's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It burns brightly and then it reduces to ash again and then rises again to burn brightly. So it's this constant transformation. That's at 20 degrees, so it's 5 degrees away from the sun and the moon, this black, pitch black energy. So freedom, by connecting with yourself and asking yourself, where's my phoenix? How can I rise from the ashes of my life? And how can I work to be this bright shining beacon for myself and for other people? So there's an element of connecting with yourself on a practical level and saying, well, what skills do I have and what can I do to make this a better place? And there's also an element of connecting with your higher self or your spiritual self to say, what can I do to transform my circumstances? The South Node is next to that. And the South Node means that this is a new moon about releasing certain things. So you're releasing the parts of your work, the parts of your daily routine, and the parts that have to do with your body, your diet, the way you exercise. You're letting go of things that no longer work for you and that are unnecessary. So if you're working 16-hour days, you have the opportunity to reduce that to a reasonable amount of hours so that you don't burn yourself out. If you're living off McDonald's every day, you're given the opportunity and the freedom to choose again and to eat differently. And if you have to commute 2 hours a day to your job, you have the opportunity here to let go of that commute by making a change in your physical life so that you don't have to commute that much. The South Node is in Capricorn at 27 degrees. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. So rather than trying to figure all this out yourself and saying, okay, what job should I apply for? What diet should I go on? How can I, should we move into London or outside of London to make the commute better? What am I going to do? Ask your higher self, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, archangels, higher beings, or in your meditation or prayer, ask for help in the sense of what is it that I'm meant to let go of so that my life and my daily routine and my physical health can flourish and blossom and become better through this new moon energy. And Capricorn never gives up. It works, it works, it works, it works until it gets to the top and it achieves its goals. And lucky for us, this lasts 6 months, so you can really transform those areas of your life. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn. It's at 11 degrees in Capricorn and it's 4 degrees away from this new moon. 4 is stability and structure. Saturn is stability and structure. So 4 in numerology is exactly the same as Saturn in astrology. It's at 11 degrees in Capricorn. So Saturn is going to say, let's look at at finding more security in our work, but let's not just work at something that is practical and grounded and successful and there's room for improvement. Let's also work at something that allows us to be of service to other people. So Saturn is really setting the bar quite high, and the standard is quite high, because it's saying, yes, you're already very capable, we know that, you work very hard, but now you get the opportunity to make changes in your life, so to reduce some of the workload, to work less hard, and to be more effective, so to smarten up a bit. You know, to do things in a way that save you time or improve your health. And the caveat, so to speak, because you're getting this opportunity to help yourself and make your life better, Saturn is saying, you're getting this gift, so what I want from you is I want you to work at something, yes, that you enjoy and that makes your career better and your finances better, but I also want you to help other people with it. So that's not every job involves that. If you're creating scratch cards and for gambling purposes, you know that you're not really helping people, because most of those people engaging with the scratch cards just get addicted and spend loads of money and don't win anything. And then 1 in a million people, I guess, wins 100 grand. Whoopee. You're not helping people through that job. So that may be the change that's required of you, and that's quite strict. Maybe you're comfortable in that job, you don't want to change it. Saturn is saying you have an opportunity to make your life better, but by doing that, I also want you to make other people's lives better. Mercury is at 1 degree in Capricorn as well, so it's 10 degrees away from Saturn, so that still counts as a conjunction to me. I use 10 degrees as a conjunction, which means they're sitting together. Mercury and Capricorn understand each other very well when they're conjunct like this, and Mercury at 1 degree is the magician. It's about being the leader, the boss, taking responsibility, initiating new projects. And in Capricorn, it thinks on a practical level. It says, no one's going to give me a job as the head cellist in the San Francisco orchestra. I'm going to have to apply for a job there if I want to be the cellist in the Philharmonic Orchestra. Mercury at 1 degree in Capricorn realizes that nothing is ever handed to you on a silver platter on planet Earth, that you have to work to get something, that you're being given an opportunity here, but unless you seize that opportunity, unless you get off your behind and do something about it, you're not going to make the changes that you can potentially make. So it's quite a tough new moon. We're not kidding around here. We're saying you're being given an opportunity. If you screw it up, you're going to screw it up. You're not going to get anything out of it. Tough. So it's not all fun and games. It's saying for the next 6 months, it's really down to you. But it does give you this crystal clear vision of the path forward through Pluto at 20 degrees, talking to other people, talking to your higher self, and talking to your guides and ancestors. So make sure that you're not doing all of this by yourself. The pressure isn't all on you. Reach out for help, and it's going to lead you in a direction that works and that helps you to make independent changes. Now, there are major aspect patterns in this chart. So first of all, let's look at the first one. There's a sextile to Venus at 28 degrees in Scorpio. 28 becomes 10, 2 and 8 is 10, and that reduces to 1. And again, that's the Magician and being in charge and solo. And Venus in Scorpio is incredibly intense. And Venus is the planet of love and beauty and creativity. And in Scorpio, it can really see to the truth of what's going on with other people. So, through this new moon and by considering what it is you want to do, you're going to be very quick to decide, is this right for me or not? And you can trust your feelings. And also, if there's a question of working with other people, you're going to get an instant emotional hit. I don't like this person, I don't trust this person. There's no evidence or proof of that, it's just your gut feeling. And what I'm telling you is to listen to that judgmental gut feeling, because it's serving you, because Venus is the planet of love and beauty and creativity. And it's in your chart and it loves you. And it doesn't want you to form negative relationships, it wants you to form positive relationships. So if you get the hit, this person is going to be really responsible and I get a good vibe from it from the get-go, then go for that, because Venus will help you and support you with that. The new moon also sextiles Ceres, which is at 22 degrees in Scorpio. So by listening to your feelings and being grounded, you can't be much more grounded than having 5 planets in Capricorn, which is an earth element. By being grounded and listening to what is, and listening to the earth and saying, what can I actually build in a practical, genuine way? Realistic goals, how can I set realistic goals? If you do that by listening to your feelings and listening to the message you get from your higher self, you're going to build something that is of real importance and that will serve others. Ceres is at 22 degrees, the master number of the builder. So during this new moon, the moon itself goes inwards and reflects and rests and recharges its batteries. Do the same. Go within, say, what do I want to transform in my working life? And ask Mother Earth too, what is it that I want? And you'll be given information that's really useful in building something that has real longevity to it. Going in the other direction, there is a sextile to Neptune at 14 degrees in Pisces. Neptune is the water planet. In Pisces, it's very happy, it's in the sign it rules, and 1 and 4 is 5. That's freedom in numerology. So again, by listening to your feelings, perfect balance between abstract kind of feelings and putting those into a practical, real practical motion by working, by sending applications, by starting a new business, you're going to be able to realize your hopes and dreams. There's a square with Uranus at 28 degrees in Aries. Uranus is the planet of rebellion, the eccentric, the unexpected. 2 and 8 is 10, that's 1. And 1 in numerology is the magician in the tarot. It's Aries in astrology. It's me, I. So Uranus is saying, I want to do what I want to do, to hell with being of service to other people. And that causes friction, because if you take on that approach, I don't care about anyone else, I just want to do what I want to do, that's going to cause problems. Because then it's not going to have longevity in it, and it's going to contain aggression and selfishness that you don't want. There's another square with Pallas Athena and the part of fortune, and Pallas Athena is at 22 degrees again in Libra. So that's the opposite to Aries. Aries is about the self, Libra is about building bridges with people and compromising. And the way to fight, so to speak, the way to make change happen is by educating people and by showing them what it is you want to do. So if you have a plan for a wonderful new business, this is a great time to ask for investors or investment, because Pallas Athena is going to give you the confidence, and it's going to make you articulate, and it's going to help you have the confidence to go out there and really pitch what you believe in. And it's not about you, it's about, I want to build this. Yes, for me, so I have a business and I have an income, but also I really think that what I'm going to do here work-wise, or in terms of my daily routine, or in terms of my physical health, I really think that's going to help other people as well, and it's something that's going to be long-term and successful. The part of fortune is what it says on the tin. It's the part of the chart that really brings you the most fortune if you engage with it. It's a 26 degrees in Libra, and it opposes that Uranus in Aries. So rather than saying, you know, I'm doing what I want, I don't care if it adds value to other people's lives, this is about me, that's not going to work. You will build something long-lasting and positive by tapping into this feminine energy and saying, I'm going to communicate, and I'm going to let myself be empowered through love from Mother Earth, love from my higher self, my higher power, and that's what's going to help me create something of value for other people and myself. And it's going to give me a lot of power, social acclaim, success, financial gains, and a greater sense of self. So you can make yourself independent, ironically, by thinking about others and how you can add value to their lives, instead of saying, how can I make myself independent, and doing something that's just for me. Do you see the difference? So the thing is just for me. I like race cars, so I'm gonna buy loads of race cars, or I'm gonna start a race car business, and it's because I really care about them. And you buy, I don't know, 5 of them, you get bored after a while, and it's like, what was that all about? Whereas if you think, okay, I need to change the way I work, I want to work fewer hours, I want to be healthier, I'm burnt out, I'm going to do something that educates people, or that enriches their lives through music or art, or I'm going to work with the legal system to provide people with justice and to stamp out injustice. You're adding value to the world, and that's a way to put yourself out there and be a fighter, and that way you'll create something that will last. Pallas Athena and the part of fortune form a square with the North Node at 27 degrees in Cancer. And 27 degrees is 9, spirituality and completion. Cancer is about nurturing other people. So this is another trap, that you completely forget about yourself and just say, how can I help others? So we've got a nice mix here. We've got 5 planets in Capricorn, which says work diligently, practically. Pallas Athena and the part of fortune saying the best outcome is going to be if you work with other people in a way that either educates, informs, or creates and adds beauty to their life. Uranus, which says do it all by yourself and be independent and don't listen to anyone else. And then that North Node in Cancer, which says just love everybody and forget about yourself completely. So it creates a grand cross in the chart, and these different energies that arise from the Capricorn stellium, S-T-E-L-L-I-U-M, just means a cluster of 3 or more planets. That is ultimately what you're doing. So it's the perfect grand cross that allows you to create real balance. You're not forgetting about yourself. You're not just being super selfish. You're not only compromising, but you're doing all together, and you're able to balance each one as and when it's needed. So you have compassion for the teammate who is ill. You realize that you're the one who has to speak up in this situation because you're the one who's most experienced in sales. You're the one who designs the graphics because you're the most artistic in the group, and you automatically realize that. So it's a wonderful time to work with other people to create new working situations, and it can be as banal as saying, I'm going to get my body together and I'm not just going to create my own diet or just leave it up to other people to send meals around to my house, or I'm going to think myself thin. It's actually, I'm going to combine all of that, find a great balance, and work at every day at losing some weight by being really practical and boring and exercising more and making healthier choices. Super banal, but it's a success. Now, that's the Grand Cross. We also have a kite in this chart upside down. So the kite connects Venus and Ceres and Chiron and Mars. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's at 28 degrees in Pisces, so that says if I take action, I'm going to be in pain and I'm going to fail. So that's where the ego is trying to sabotage you. And Mars is at 3 degrees in Aries, and Mars is saying, hey, yeah, let's go. I'm ready for a new beginning. I'm ready to communicate. I'm ready to bulldoze everything out of the way. So Mars is with you, totally on your side, but it creates a triangle with the North Node in Cancer, 29 degrees. So again, we have perfect balance. We have Mars, who is totally selfish. Chiron, who says, oh, you've got no self-esteem, you'll never make it, so don't even bother. That's balanced out by Venus, self-love, and Ceres, love from Mother Earth, and spirituality and nurturing yourself at the top. So connect with your higher self, pray, or just do something nice for yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Realize how much you've done in 2018 and how you've integrated that into your personality and how far you've come. It forms a kite with the new moon and Pluto. So by taking stock of where you've come from and what you've achieved, on planet duality, you now have perfect balance, which is hardly ever the case. And Pluto is even at 2 degrees, perfect balance. 1, 2, on a seesaw, goes up and down, up and down. So the real talent that can take off today is that you can work at something which does transform your life, something that allows you to work independently with your higher self at something that you love and that adds value to the world and helps you build greater relationships, and it creates opportunities in your own working life. It's amazing. Mercury trines Uranus, so communication is not going to be an issue. If anything, and Mars is at 3 degrees, 3 is about communication and new beginnings. It's also in Aries. So if anything, you may be overpowering in terms of your communication. So if you're in a team, if you're not leading the team, then make sure that you don't drown out everyone else, and that you also put on your listening ears, and that you realize that you don't know it all and you can work well with other people. Black Moon Lilith is at 16 degrees in Aquarius. That says you can't help other people by being creative. You're not good enough. And that's just another way the ego says you can't help. And Chiron is saying something similar. It's saying if you do this by yourself, something that either is meant to help people or is spiritual or is creative or healing in some way, it's not going to work. So the ego is, is stalling, and we can see because it's stalling you in these areas, those are the areas where you'll be most successful. So help others, get creative, communicate, speak, educate people. This lasts for 6 months. Jupiter is at 12 degrees, 1 and 2 is 3, more communication, and it's in the sign that it rules, Sagittarius. Now Jupiter is the lucky planet, the planet of good luck and good fortune, and it's an outer planet, it moves slowly. So it stays in Virgo for a year, in Scorpio for a year, in Libra for a year. It rules Sagittarius, and there are 12 signs of the zodiac. So it's only in the sign that it rules once every 12 years. So if you were born with Jupiter in Sagittarius, this is extra good luck for you, but for the rest of us as well, this is a really good lucky year because Jupiter is in the sign that it rules, so it can express its good fortune and love for us and success in a way that it enjoys. 3 degrees is through communication and being willing to make a fresh start of things, and Sagittarius is about believing in that inner flame that you've got inside of you and saying, yes, I can move forward with my life, I can embrace the uncertainty, and I can move forward and do something, which is the perfect antidote to Chiron and Black Moon Lilith there. The part of fortune I mentioned, power, doesn't come from being selfish and saying me, me, me. It comes from compromising and working with other people, as well as speaking up and finding a balance there. So that's it. It's a really beautiful, beautiful solar eclipse and new moon. Take time to go within and to say, yeah, I still work. If you're retired, this applies to you as well. I am retired. I work in the garden every day. I have to chop wood. I have to take care of the dog. I have to paint the house. I have to do constant upkeep. I have to, you know, all the things that we all need to do, chores and things like that. I can find a way that's better. I can streamline my chores, my work, the things that I'm interested in. I can improve my health. I can look to the future. What I've noticed, obviously, with a lot of older people who I speak to, is that the older they get, the more likely they are to look to the past and cherish their memories and feel like, well, there's not much of a future left. And this new moon, it assures you that if you work and if you are willing to make a fresh start, there is a future for you. There is another door you can walk through. So there is another chapter of your life, whether you're 78 or 28. Your routine, easily accomplished. If you commute 2 hours, you'll find something where you can move and reduce that to 15 minutes. And if the case is, Gary, you don't want to commute, the kids are in a really good school at the moment, Ofsted has said it's an outstanding school, and you want to now move them, you want to move all of us closer to this other area because of your work, and we're going to have to change schools and everything like that, that is the way forward. You have to think about yourself and other people, but you can't forget about yourself. So any changes that you make are very likely to have a positive knock-on effect to other people. Otherwise there wouldn't be this amazing Grand Cross and this kite, because a kite is hope. You know, like the Kite Runner, there's this amazing book called The Kite Runner, and it's all about terrible things that happen in Afghanistan, but the kite itself is such a symbol of hope and beauty and something that just takes off and takes flight. So if you work at this, and if she says, Gary, we're gonna have to uproot everything, and are you sure about this? Then say, yes, I am sure about this. I really want to make my daily routine better. Or if you decide, you know what, resolution, I am going to change the way I look. Not by criticizing myself, but by loving myself and changing my exercise routine and what I eat, it's a kite that's going to take off. So you can change the way you look. If you feel like you're too heavy or you're too skinny, you want to build up some muscle, which men are, a lot of men have to deal with that kind of thing, especially gay men. They have to, you know, be super muscly so they fit into a stereotype so that other men find them attractive. If you want to do that and conform to that norm and be successful, then you can change your body. But again, is that healthy? The kite is going to really help you make healthy decisions for yourself. You know, if you're like, well, I'm gonna take the shortcut and pump myself full of steroids and go to the gym for a month, and then I'll be jacked up and everyone's gonna find me attractive, but you've ruined your kidneys and your liver in the process, the kite won't allow you to do that. It's gonna allow you to make healthy choices in your working life, your daily routine, and your body. And the thing that I want to say is that this is what I dreamt, because the ego is so threatened at the moment because a lot of people are waking up. We can't fight back through saying, oh my God, you're such an idiot. I despise your views on things. You're so stupid. How can you think that way? We can't do that anymore because that just creates division. And by getting that sense of love from Mother Earth, you also feel that inner flame and that spark that we are all connected and that we all come from the same mother and that we are spiritual beings. And when you realize that, and when you include the energy of fighting in a way to educate and to really articulate what ought to be done, that's the way to create peace. And to show people, look, your dominance over this area is destroying this country, this culture, and it can't be done. And we're going to now use the law and communication and sanctions and all of these things to make sure you don't do that, because we're no longer going to accept this rogue dictatorship, independent, toxic masculinity. The planet has outgrown that. We as a society and as a culture have now outgrown that, and we will continue to outgrow that in 2019. And there's a new type of society and a new type of fighting which is far more civilized, that's going to take place. That's what I feel, and that's what I've been told. So don't tap into your primitive masculine fighting energy when there's a problem. Tap into your loving Mother Earth and Pallas Athena, warrior goddess energy, to solve problems, because they are empowered now at this time on this planet, in our society, and that's never been the case before. It's always been men first. Men are the builders, men are the bosses, and that is shifting because spiritually we're starting to wake up and we're not tolerating these stupidities anymore and these selfish acts. So that's what I get for you for this new moon. If you want more information on what area of your life each one of the eclipses this year is going to take place. So let's say if you're a Virgo and this new moon takes place in your second house of money, then the changes that you're going to make relate to your career and how much money you earn. And the forecast for 2019, so Virgo 2019, will tell you about this eclipse and the other eclipses happening in the year. They last 6 months, remember. And also the monthly forecast. So let's say Libra, January 2019, is also going to tell you what house, so what area of your life this is going to happen in. So for Libra, if it happens in your 11th house, you'll look at working to realize your hopes and dreams that you had for yourself, that you've dismissed long ago. Or if you don't feel like you have a great social network, you'll become much more practical in terms of making new friends. And with Venus and Scorpio on your side, you'll immediately be able to understand, okay, this person is part of my future, this person isn't. So it's important to know what area of life this manifests itself in for you. So watch those videos first for your sun sign, then for your rising sign or ascendant, same thing. And then finally, if you want even more information, then for your moon sign. Have a lovely day. If you would like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, you can just click on book your reading, or you can click on the readings tab to get to the readings page, or do your reading with me there. If you like my videos and this video, then please hit the subscribe button and share it on social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. I would be ever so grateful. I don't advertise, so I rely on you guys to help me, and you've helped me so much over the years. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who has shared one of my videos. Love you. I hope you have a wonderful time here during this new moon. I'll speak to you tomorrow for the daily tarot readings, weekly on Sunday for the weekly horoscopes, and the monthly horoscopes for January and 2019. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon.